He was born with nothing. No money, no powerful name, no safety net. Before he could even understand the world, his father was already gone. Death took him before Andrew Jackson could take his first breath. He entered life already behind, already losing, already forgotten. And if you met him as a child, you would never believe this boy would one day shake an entire nation. Because Andrew Jackson grew up poor. So poor that survival was his daily ambition. Not success, not dreams, just survival. His clothes were torn, his hands were rough, his future looked empty. Then life hit harder. War came when he was just a teenager. 13 years old, a child forced into a world of violence and pain, captured by the enemy, ordered to clean the boots of a British officer. Andrew refused. That moment changed everything. The officer slashed his face with a sword, leaving a scar that would stay with him forever. That scar was not just on his skin, it was burned into his soul. Soon after, his brothers died. Then his mother died. 13 years old. No parents, no family, no home, no protection. Most people break right there. Most people disappear into silence. Andrew Jackson did something else. He hardened. He decided the world would never break him again. People called him angry. People called him wild. People said he was impossible to work with. What they really meant was this: he refused to bow. He had no formal education, no rich mentors, no elite friends, but he had obsession. He taught himself law. People laughed. They mocked him. They said a poor orphan could never be a lawyer. They were wrong. Andrew Jackson became successful, respected, feared. Then he entered the military, and this is where his legend began to grow. He led men into battle without hesitation. He fought through pain, through injury, through sickness. Bullets tore into his body, but he kept standing. His soldiers called him Iron Man because he refused to fall. Then came the Battle of New Orleans, a moment that changed American history. Against impossible odds, Andrew Jackson defeated one of the most powerful forces on earth. Overnight, the poor orphan became a national hero. But here's the truth no one tells you. Success does not silence rejection. When Andrew Jackson entered politics, the elite hated him. They said he was uneducated. They said he was dangerous. They said he did not belong. He ran for president, and he lost. The system worked against him. Deals were made behind closed doors. The victory was taken from him. Again, rejected. This was the moment where most people give up. Andrew Jackson did not. He remembered every insult, every rejection, every closed door, and he came back stronger. He ran again, and this time the people stood with him. Farmers, workers, soldiers, the forgotten. They saw themselves in him, and Andrew Jackson became President of the United States. Not born into power, not handed privilege. He took it as president. He fought the banks. He challenged the elites. He stood for the common man. He made enemies everywhere. Assassination attempts followed. Hate followed. Fear followed. But he never backed down, because Andrew Jackson was not driven by approval. He was driven by purpose. And when he died, he was no longer the poor orphan, no longer the rejected boy. He was history. He was legend. Why this story matters. P. Because rejection does not mean failure. P. Poverty does not mean weakness. P. Being ignored does not mean being insignificant. P. Andrew Jackson proves one thing. P. Your beginning does not decide your ending. What decides it is how many times you rise after life tries to bury you. P. If you are struggling right now, if you feel overlooked, if the world keeps telling you no. P. Remember this. So did they, and he still became a legend.